The 17, Kalia Sims, starting 6th from Cambridge, the number 3, that's Alex Moss. Starting 7th from Dundas, the 32 is Jillian Hills. Starting 8th from Ancaster, number 19 is Kyle Wirt. And starting 9th from Hamilton, the 22A is Ashley Nelson. As we work to get the lineup set here. The front row needs to swap spots here. So Olivieri goes to the pole. So they got the white flag last time by. I think we're going to have to go one more lap here to get these drivers lined up in their positions.
Quick announcement, we have a brown Silverado in the parking lot, license plate AE71972. Brown Silverado AE71972. That needs to be moved immediately. We also have a white Dodge Journey BDYV869. BDYV869, your windows are down. White Dodge Journey and a brown Silverado. Please get to your vehicles immediately.
And now, as I like to say, here's something completely different than the sprint cars. The Bombers take 2. The infield oval for their first of 2 heat races. It's Olivieri taking the early lead here. Ma's in the 3, holds the second spot for the moment. Then it is Wirt in the 19. He makes his way up into the 3rd spot, but then gets up over the end of corner 4. So that will put... Actually, Wirt maintains the 3rd spot here, dives to the inside in turn 1. Then his adventuresome lap continues as he gets into the tire down in corner 2.
So Olivieri will lead this lap across the stripe to complete lap number 2 with Moss there in second. Jillian Hills in that 3rd spot aboard 32, and she would pretty much be the most veteran of the drivers, I think, in this division now.
Yeah, pretty much her and Ashley Nelson in that 22A. They're the veteran drivers, although the 3 of Moss has been a few races as well. But Olivieri, a rookie out here, leading the way so far in the 16 car, as he has the lead for now over the 3 of Alex Moss. Then it's the 32 of Jillian Hills sitting in that 3rd spot with 2 laps to go.
Lap traffic right in front of the leaders. Tristan De Silva will be the first car that they approach, and we'll see who takes what line. Moss goes to the inside and grabs the lead down the backstretch.
Well, this is where having some experience on the bomber track pays off, as Olivieri picked the long line there. So that allows Moss to get around for the lead, but here comes Jillian Hills, and Olivieri's not going away either.
Yeah, out of nowhere comes Jillian Hills there, making a charge at the top spot, but off of corner number 3 and through corner 4, Alex Moss will see the checkered flag and win. Caledonia Auto Supply heat race number 1. And I believe they gave Jillian Hills second. I didn't hear.
I don't know. From here, it looked like she got 3rd, but that was pretty close at the line. She drove up to the top side. So Olivieri is credited for the 2nd spot. Then Hills, Wirt, Ashley Nelson, the 17 of Sims, 15 of Wilcox, and the rest of the field. Heat race number 2 brought to you by Renway Energy, starting in the pole. From Cambridge, the 37E, that's Eric Moss. Starting 2nd from Oshweek in the 155, Dustin Longboat. Starting 3rd from Cambridge, 37, Jake Moss. Starting 4th from Oshweek, 14's Jerry Burnham. Starting 5th from Oshweek in the 188, Paul Longboat. Starting 6th, last week's feature winner, the 6 of Wade Thorne from Waterford. Then it's the 76, Ben Buchwald, and the 11 of Steve Taylor. Here we go. 6 laps of distance on heat race number 2.
And the Longboats break out, one on either side, and go for the lead. Oh, nearly caught the tractor tire off of corner number 2. And then the 37 machine and Jake Moss does run over it.
Some more contact there between Longboat in the 188 and Burnham in the 14, but they get straightened out as Dustin Longboat, the 155, oh so close to his first feature win last week, and he's looking to try to get up on the top spot of the podium this time. All kinds of carnage out there. The tractor tire over in corner 2 went for a ride on the front bumper of Paul Longboat, and then the hood came up.
Actually, Gerald Burnham
Burnham
punted the tire out on the track, and then the hood came up at the other end of the track.
That's on the Moz car.
Yep.
That is Jake Moz, who went to Victory Lane a couple weeks ago here. And then the 11 of Steve Taylor, first night out this year for that car. That's the former Patrick Abramson car that used to go to Victory Lane on a fairly regular basis here. So we'll see what the rookie Steve Taylor can do with it. Just getting a feel for it tonight.
Talked about Jillian Hills being a veteran in that first heat. The top two, well, I guess you could almost say the top three now. A very veteran in this one, and you could even throw Wade Thorne into the mix here. But the longboats have been here very, very long time in this division.
Yeah, they've been a good supporter of the Bomber division, as we see a lot of rookies come in and out, move up to other divisions. And now Longboat in the 188, that's Paul Longboat, just lost the right front tire and comes to a stop on the front stretch. So heat race number 2 is full of calamity here for the Bomber drivers tonight.
As Darren cues up, you picked the wrong time to leave me, loose wheel. Is that the song?
Longboat, you saw pounding on the steering wheel down there. He's obviously upset with the wheel coming off of his machine, but
I would expect that if I'd changed the tire.
That's why we sit up here.
Exactly.
So the safety crew will get the 188 of Longboat back to the pits, and we still have 5 laps to go here in Bomber Heat Race number 2. Again, brought to you by Renway Energy.
50-50 is over $400 at last check, so make sure you get in on tonight's 50-50 draws. Flag down the sellers in the bright pink T-shirts. $400 was the last check on that, and I'm sure it's climbed since then. Again, souvenir programs are for sale down the main entryway. Get a copy there and get in on tonight's program prize draw at intermission. 2-seat sprint car rides, which will take place at the end of tonight's program. 5 laps is $100. So go down and see Mary. She's in the brand new concession building down behind the corner 4 grandstands. Mary's got rides for sale down there. And you can go for a ride of a lifetime, the Renway Energy Cool Kids Ice and Water 2-seat sprint car. She also has tickets for advanced reserved races here in 2016, including the 2 nights that Casey Kane will be here on Monday, July the 25th and Tuesday, July the 26th. NASCAR star Casey Kane will be here to take on our own 360 sprint car drivers on the Monday night, and then the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series on the Tuesday evening. And we also have tickets available for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals in September. It's coming before you know it, so make sure you get your advanced reserve tickets for that and get your camping space all ready to go as well, as that is filling up quickly. So we get ready to come back to the green flag here in the second qualifying heat, brought to you by Renway Fuels and Lubricants.
So Dustin Longboat gets us back going to the green flag. Wade Thorne on the gas gets around the 14 of Jerry Burnham in the first set of corners after the yellow flag, and he'll go after Dustin Longboat now, but Longboat in the 155 strong out front.
Now Longboat out in front, Thorne in the second spot, Burnham in third as they work it down the back stretch, and attrition has been the name of the game here in this heat.
It definitely has the top 3 veteran drivers. As we mentioned, Dustin Longboat almost got his first feature win in the Bombers last week. He was beaten just by a hair by Wade Thorne in that 6 car. And Jerry Burnham, of course, almost always seems to finish second here. Right now he's holding that 3rd spot in the 14 car.
So the leader may encounter some lap traffic before this is over, so Wade Thorne might have one chance at this if lap traffic does play a factor. White flag in the air for Longboat. Thorne doing all he can to catch the leader, and Burnham there in striking distance as well.
So Longboat will have to contend with the 76, the soon-to-be lap machine of Buchwald here. Longboat will come out of corner 4. Buchwald gives him plenty of room, and Longboat will get the win in heat race number 2. Second will be Thorne, 3rd will be Burnham, 4th will be Moss, 5th will be Taylor, and then Buchwald will finish 6th.
That concludes Scales Auto Aftermarket Bomber qualifying heats as we get ready for the first of 3 HRW Automotive Mini Stock qualifiers. And hopefully we can bring in Clinton Jeffrey at some point, as I know he's been running around the Speedway, of course, in 2016. He's the new general manager here at the Speedway, and he's done a lot of hard work to get things.
404 of Devin Abraham. Inside row 3, 17's Kalia Sims. On her outside, the 3 is Alex Moss. Row 4 on the inside, 32 Jillian Hills. On her outside, number 19 is Kyle Wirt. Inside row 5, starting 9th tonight, the 22A is Ashley Nelson. On her outside, the 37E is Eric Moss. Starting inside row 6, the heat race winner tonight, the 155 is Dustin Longboat. On his outside, a feature winner this year already, the 37 of Jake Moss. Row 7 on the inside, the 14, Jerry Burnham. On his outside, the 188 is Paul Longboat. Inside row 8, the number 6, Wade Thorne. He's your winner the last 2 weeks here in feature race action in the Bomber division. On his outside, the 76, Ben Buchwald. And then starting 17th, scratch on the field, the number 11 of Steve Taylor. White flag's in the air this time by. Next time by, they'll see the green flag. Double green flags from Kyle McKenzie. And 12 laps for the Bomber feature here tonight. Again, want to thank the Rochester Nighthawks for bringing us the action here. Week number 4 at Ohsweken Speedway.
Beautiful night. Glad you could join us here tonight for Rochester Nighthawks evening here at the Speedway. As we get ready for the first feature of the night, double greens will go in the air, and Olivieri will lead them across the stripe here in our first feature.
Well, Abraham did not get on the gas very well there at all. The 404 falls back several spots already. Meanwhile, the tractor tire up in corner 2 is causing fits for some of these drivers, and now Tristan De Silva gets it caught up on the front end of the 01. Up front, it's Olivieri leading the way over the 3 of Alex Moss.
That's what you call drag there. A little bit of tractor tire drag as it sits right in the corner, middle of corner number 3. Meanwhile, Kalia Sims spins up in corner 1. That brings out the yellow flag here in the Gales Auto Aftermarket Bomber feature event. That tractor tire in specific has taken an awful beating here tonight.
It's not white anymore, that's for sure.
No.
And the white flag out this time by. We will go back to green with Fabio Olivieri, rookie driver in that 16 car, leading the way. Alex Moss second in the 3. 22A is Ashley Nelson. She starts 3rd. Devin Abraham in the 404 starts 4th. And the 6 of Wade Thorne, who started inside row number 8, he's already up into the top 5. So look out for the 6 of Wade Thorne here tonight.
Back under green flag conditions, Olivieri over Moss. And Nelson right there, your top 3. Thorne hanging in the 4th spot. And we'll see, can we get by the tractor tire for lap we did that time by, as Olivieri will lead the lap.
Alex Moss had a good run there on the 16 of Olivieri and had to get out of it. Then Ashley Nelson hard into corner 1 and got into the side of Moss. Here comes Dustin Longboat trying to take the 3rd spot away from Nelson.
Across the stripe to complete lap number 3 that time by for Olivieri. Moss there in 2nd, Longboat in 3rd. Nelson goes off track in corner 2, locks the brakes up, and will get the 22A back pointed in the right direction.
Flat right front on the 6 of Wade Thorne. He takes that car to the pits. That's going to hand the points lead over to somebody else for sure. Meanwhile, at the front, it's still the 155 of Longboat now up into the 2nd spot. The 3 of Moss has taken over the lead for the moment, but top 3 under a blanket here heading down the backstretch.
Good run for Ashley Nelson as Fernandez, she gets a right front flat and will take the 22A to the pit area. The battle's on for the lead, and lap cars between the leaders.
Lap cars are what undid Dustin Longboat's first feature win possibly last week, and now he's up trying to fight around the outside of De Silva. Gets around him, and now to the outside on Moss, looking for the lead.
Down into corner number 1 they go. Moss all over the back end of the 155 of Longboat. A little bit of smoke coming out of the back of the 16 of Olivieri as they come down to complete lap number 8.
And the back end of Olivieri gets the front bumper of Jake Moss in the 37. He moves him out of the way, and Moss will take over 3rd in that 37 car. Up front, it's still Dustin Longboat with 4 laps left in this one. Make that 3 laps.
Off-track excursion for the leader, but 2nd place got tied up behind a lap car. The 3 of Moss has come to a stop on the backstretch, and Burnham plows into the 3 machine. And that brings out the yellow big change of events in the top 5. That's for sure.
I'm just fine with sitting up here, and my wife insists on it now.
Well, when you've got kids, you've got to think about the kids. We've seen that replay every year at the banquet since, when Billy Hogue almost caught Clinton Jeffrey in the infield. But he did the Al Bundy stance in his run, got the leg up, and led Pokai to the victory and got it away. Billy Oaks.
Looked pretty casual doing it,
He
too.
did. He did.
He didn't have time to get worried.
Green flag back in the air with 3 laps to go.
So the brothers go at it up front. Paul Longboat tried to get to the inside of Dustin Longboat while Devin Abraham goes for a spin down here on the front stretch. They'll get the 2 to go signal this time by.
Yellow will have to come out for Abram. And Oliveira's number 16 was showing smoke earlier, and a lot more smoke now to the 16 machine.
I can't figure out which one is tougher to say quickly, Olivieri or Paulie Colagiovanni.
Make sure you get yourself an Italy sub as we get ready to go back to the green flag. The longboats at the front. Will one of them end up in Mobile One victory lane?
So Paul Longboat again has to get on the brakes to avoid hitting his brother Dustin. So Dustin has the lead here to complete lap number 10. 2 to go for Dustin Longboat.
Dustin Longboat, Paul Longboat at the front of the field. Here comes the 32 of Jillian Hills and the 19 machine of Kyle Wirt. White flag in the air for Paul Longboat looking for the victory.
So Dustin Longboat down the back straightaway the final time. He's looking for his first career Bomber feature win. Can he get it done here? He will. Out of turn 4, Dustin Longboat gets the win. Second is Paul Longboat. Then it's Jillian Hills third. And I believe Kyle Wirt and Jake Maas round out the top 5.
So that is the conclusion of our first feature of the night, the affordable towing and recovery. The Gale win will go to Paul Longboat. And Tommy Gooch will head down to Mobile One victory lane to talk to our top 3. And then we have a B main for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Before our intermission, we'll have the redraw for the Patriot Sprint Tour. Cool Kids Core Pack Sprint Car drivers. Those top drivers from the passing points in the qualifying heats will redraw for the top spots in tonight's feature event from 1st to 8th. Sent down now to Tommy Gooch, Mobile One victory lane.
Here he is out of the car. A big smile for Dustin Longboat. Goes over and gives his brother Paul a big hug. Dustin had the win in hand last week and saw it slip away, but not this week. Dustin Longboat, first time in Mobile One victory lane. And this one's got to feel good, especially after last week.
Oh yeah. I didn't think I was gonna make it up here because how far I started back, but the car hooked up nice around the bends and everything just planned out.
Who do you want to thank for getting you up here on the front stretch again?
I'd like to thank Cheesewood Gas and Garage, Cool Kids Ice and Water, Gale's Auto Aftermarket, and my brother Paul.
There he is. That's Dustin Longboat. There's your hat. Mobile One victory lane is Dustin Longboat. Paul Longboat, you've been to victory lane here before, but I think you're probably happier to see Dustin get the win here tonight, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm real happy to see my brother up here on the podium. I was just stuck behind him, and hopefully Jillian wouldn't get around me.
Who helped you get this car up on the podium?
I'd like to thank my main sponsor, Gale's Auto Aftermarket, and Victor Bunbury, and my brother Dustin.
There he is. That's Paul Longboat, second place here tonight. We'll come around and get a word with Jillian Hills. I think it might be your first podium of the year here, and you like to use that top side on the bomber track. It doesn't always work out, but it's fun when it does.
Oh yeah, there's no traffic up there, and the car works good up there. That last caution saved me. I went right off 3 and 4 and lost the spot with that caution, and any night you're on the podium is a pretty good night.
Who do you want to thank for getting you up here onto this podium?
I gotta thank my dad and Carl. They put so much time into my cars. And then I got Tirecraft Dundas and Jibs Action Sports on the car.
There she is, Jillian Hills, third place here tonight. Put your hands together for all of our podium finishers in the Gales Auto Aftermarket Bombers.
Another reminder that our smoking areas are at the ends of corners 1 and corner 4.